We need to talk about Alex Caruso because not only are his stats in the playoffs of 2026 outstanding, but he's passing the eye test. What does that mean? Well, let's start with a comparison to LeBron James to get our footing. You see Alex Caruso everywhere. He's always moving. He's always involved. He's always an important part of the play, whether it's offense or defense. You don't really see those situations that you see with LeBron James in which he's just down in the corner doing nothing. Whether it's offense or defense, sometimes it's even hard to tell because what LeBron James does at both sides of the court has become so similar, which is standing, not being involved, waiting for his opportunity. Caruso is always involved. Alex Caruso is a 6'5" point guard / shooting guard, or at least that's what he's officially listed as. And I say officially because we see Alex Caruso doing what needs to be done, doing different things, both on offense and on defense, but maybe the most obvious is on defense since he has, against multiple teams with dominant centers, been given the task of guarding those centers. How does this relate to LeBron James? Well, LeBron James gets the easy way out on defense, despite being praised constantly for what he's doing at this age. The only way that what he's doing at this age applies is if you are, in fact, admitting and pointing out that he doesn't do anything, that he's being given a pass. He's being allowed to take breaks pretty much 90% of the time that he's on the floor. And the reason Alex Caruso is important in this is it proves that you can't use the position excuse. You can't say, well, LeBron's not a center. He's not supposed to be doing this or he's not supposed to be doing that. LeBron James is the size of many centers in the league. He outweighs most centers in the league, and most centers are only a couple of inches taller than him, and many of them are his height. So why on earth, if your team needed you to step up, if you're the athlete you are made out to be, if they spend all the time talking about what shape you're in and your muscles and your dedication to the game, why on earth, especially when they even go so far as to say he's the best conditioned guy on the court, man, 41 is not 81. If you are the best conditioned guy on the court at 41, you will, in fact, look like the best conditioned guy on the court. LeBron James looks like the worst conditioned guy on the court. He does not pass the eye test. If he was in the cardiovascular shape, if he had the will to win, if he was willing to put in actual effort rather than just put on a show, a public proclamation that he's in shape, then he could go and guard more difficult positions instead of putting the rest of his teammates in worse situations because LeBron James always needs the easiest defensive assignment. Alex Caruso, yes, he's younger than LeBron James, but you also don't hear Alex Caruso being praised for what a natural athlete, the best conditioned guy on the floor. He spends millions of dollars on his body in the offseason. Alex Caruso's performance actually demonstrates that that could be true. LeBron James, whom they constantly talk about what he does for his body and his conditioning, doesn't demonstrate it. You just hear it professed. Let's go back to talking about LeBron James's size, because indeed, since he's supposedly a small forward, being as tall as some centers in the league and outweighing most centers while not having the typical physical makeup of a center, indeed he looks pretty effing athletic for that size. As many people have said, he should have dominated more than he did. And LeBron James, instead of developing his game, many people, including those of you who comment on my channel, have pointed out, if he'd ever developed the game, he could have indeed been an all-time great. LeBron James is not an all-time great. I believe and have always believed that LeBron James's greatness is hype. It's manufactured. It's constantly repeating lies until people think that the lies are true. LeBron James has never been anywhere near my top 10. LeBron James is lucky if I put him near the top 50. And his personality and his cheating of the game take him out of any category for me. He doesn't even get a mention. He's like the worst thing that's ever happened to basketball. You can't put someone who is arguably the worst thing to ever happen to basketball in a great conversation. Which brings me to his work ethic. Another storyline, another narrative that we hear about constantly. We're supposed to be impressed by his work ethic. If LeBron James had that work ethic combined with his physical abilities, his size and his athleticism, he would be frightening. LeBron James instead, again, as many of you have already stated in the comments, he chose to rely on athleticism and easy way outs. Let's take Miami. LeBron James was basically a fast break, lob city type of player. Lots of highlights, lots of Dwayne Wade hustling and throwing the ball up for LeBron James to finish. Sometimes LeBron would even let Dwayne Wade finish. But that's just athleticism, guys. Yeah, you're bigger, faster, stronger, and on a really good team. You'd better be able to rack up some highlights. I need to retract that stronger part. In fact, even the faster part. LeBron James is not stronger and not faster than a lot of players. And Jason Terry proved the faster part. And LeBron's softness often proves the stronger part to be untrue. Caruso is a member of a long list of players who became better once they escaped from LeBron James. And this is a double-sided argument. LeBron James did not make his teammates better while he had them. And not only did he not make them better, they went ahead and proved how good they could be once they escaped from him. Fanboys will cheat in this argument and say, oh, well, they just needed time to develop. That's a very convenient cop-out, considering that you apply that every single time a player escapes from LeBron James and becomes better. You need to go back to whether or not he was carrying bums. He can't have been carrying bums. Even if you think they needed to develop later, players that are great and in development are not bums. Very big difference. Secondly, LeBron James is the reason you don't get the opportunity to see whether or not those people would have developed or eventually with LeBron, because he always gets rid of them to bring in already established stars. The mercenary style of ring hunting via LeBron James, in which the system constantly means surrounding LeBron James with more talented players that make his life easier. It's not about LeBron James making his teammates' lives easier. Now, they will profess that. I constantly hear about how LeBron James does this or that and the other thing on the court. But I've been breaking down the footage long enough to confidently say it's just not true. It's just not true. Even as the announcers are telling the people at home that LeBron James is doing this or that or the other thing, you can stop, hit pause, and ask yourself, is what they're saying what I'm seeing? And give yourself an honest moment, then hit play and see if it matches. Let's take on your excuses in yet another way. If LeBron James had the high basketball IQ that you claim that he has, LeBron James should be able to spot the potential in these players and insist on keeping them and using the advantage that his teams, most recently the Lakers, had the foresight to recruit, whether trades or drafting. LeBron James destroyed the collection of talent that the Lakers had developed via drafting. He destroyed it. All those dark years that they twist around and act like the Lakers needed to be rescued from, those dark years were the rebuilding process in which they were collecting talent that was incredible. Every single person there went on to do something great. And it got tossed away as soon as they jumped on board with the LeBron James system. Let's talk rings for a minute, because Alex Caruso, who, I don't know, probably won't make it into the Hall of Fame, isn't in conversations on the sort of level of a top 10, top 15 player in the league type of thing. And yet he already has 50% of the rings that LeBron James has. And I put an asterisk on every single one of LeBron's. In fact, I insist that LeBron has 3 at the most. And you look at those 3, and those all have asterisks on them. That having been said, we would also have to